Hello, welcome to Midweek Connect. My name is Dave Walker, Senior Pastor of the church. And today I want to really just talk from my heart to you, members of the church, people who attend the church, the wider church family. Quite often I have a message in here for non-Christians, for those who don't go to church, and explain a bit more about Christianity to them. I'm not doing that today, but for those of you who don't go to church, who wouldn't normally go to church, should I say, before the pandemic, or for those of you who aren't Christians, you're still welcome to listen, but this is primarily for our church family today. And I want to really encourage you. It has been a bizarre year, a very strange year. And at the beginning of this year, or particularly when the pandemic started and everything was closing down, I put a mark on our wall planet in my office that said, Carol service, 20th of December. I thought, surely we can do that. And it's strange and quite bizarre that right now we're coming to that date and normality still hasn't returned in church life and in life in this country. And that's a little bit sad. And it can cause a lot of people to worry and be concerned and think, my goodness, what is going to happen this Christmas or this year? You know, what's next year going to be like, or the year after? I've got a solution today for you, which I know will encourage you and make you feel better. Of course, in the news at the moment, there's with the Brexit issue coming up. Yes, we've left the European Union, but we were out of the market at the end of the year. And could that affect prices? Could it affect availability of goods in the market and all kinds of things? And how will that affect us? Plus, a new strain has come along for this coronavirus. And we're thinking, oh no, I really hope that the vaccines sort of overtake this. And all these things could be going round your head at the moment. And I just kind of want to address that and jump in with you and say, I love you as your pastor and as your friend. Jackie and I pray for you regularly. And we want to encourage you in whatever way we can. I'm amazed by how the church has pulled together this year in some incredible ways. We've had services at the church, but for those who feel they don't want to do that yet, they don't want to risk it, don't want to risk catching anything, there have been the videos as well, which we've all sort of pulled together and created for you for the benefit of the church. Normally in a sort of a broadcast like this, I'll do something Christmassy or something on the Christmas story. I'm not doing that today. We're doing that in the carol service towards the weekend. When I say carol service, the carol service video. But what I want to do today is read from Psalm 25. Just reflect on this. I love reading out stuff from the Bible in church. I think it just washes over you and does the most amazing things. So I want to read out from Psalm 25 and bring a few points in just to encourage you today. So Psalm 25. Sorry, I'm just looking at the screen because my little pointer at the bottom is at the bottom with how long I've got to go in terms of the video length. Please forgive me for that. Psalm 25. Reading from the New International Version. To you, O Lord, I lift up my soul. In you I trust, O my God. Do not let me be put to shame, nor let my enemies triumph over me. No one whose hope in you will ever be put to shame, but they will be put to shame who are treacherous without excuse. Show me your ways, O Lord. Teach me your paths. Guide me in your truth and teach me. For you are God, my Saviour, and my hope is in you all day long. Remember, O Lord, your great mercy and love, for they are from of old. Remember not the sins of my youth and my rebellious ways. That's something we can all sort of resonate with, isn't it? According to your love, remember me, for you are good, O Lord. Good and upright is the Lord. Therefore he instructs sinners in his ways. He guides the humble in what is right and teaches them his way. All the ways of the Lord are loving and faithful, for those who keep the demands of his covenant. For the sake of your name, O Lord, forgive my iniquity, though it is great. Who then is the man that fears the Lord? He will instruct him in the way chosen for him. He will spend his days in prosperity, and his descendants will inherit the land. The Lord confides in those who fear him. He makes his covenant known to them. My eyes are ever on the Lord, for only he will release my feet from the snare. Turn to me and be gracious to me, for I'm lonely and afflicted. The troubles of my heart have multiplied. Free me from my anguish. Look upon my affliction and my distress, and take away all my sins. See how my enemies have increased and how fiercely they hate me. 3 more verses. God, my life, and rescue me. Let me not be put to shame, for I take refuge in you. May integrity and uprightness protect me, because my hope is in you. And finally, redeem Israel, O God, from all their troubles. David, of course, was in danger here, reflecting on danger and trusting God to lead him in the future in a very, very, very uncertain climate. And we are in an uncertain climate right now, aren't we? And I am not going to go through every single verse of this, but just pick out a few verses over the next few minutes. And firstly, I love how at the beginning he says, to you, O Lord, I lift up my soul. In other words, he's saying, in spite of everything I am going through, I lift everything up and say, to you, I place my trust in you. And we can do that. We can place our trust in God for 2021. I remember a missions trip to the Far East many, many years ago. Going to the Philippines with some friends from my previous church. I remember literally going at Heathrow Airport, going down the gate, and they said, well, look, there's a problem here. In order to get to the plane, the gate in the big tunnel you go along, it's not available. So you've got to go on a coach and right out into the sort of open on the apron there and to go up some steps onto a 747. Now, I've never gone up steps onto a 747 before. I've always gone along a big tunnel. I remember literally going up these steps, long steps, it's like Air Force One, onto this huge plane, thinking this thing will take us to Hong Kong. I am now putting my trust completely in the engineers, the people who built the plane, the pilot, 100%. I'm putting my trust in that. And I had a sort of a feeling within my heart today as I was preparing this, that in a sense, that is like putting our trust in God for 2021. 2021 is like a new plane we're getting onto, and we need to completely put our trust in him. He says, I lift up my soul. And he goes on and says, show me your ways, verse 4. Show me your ways. What are your ways? And it may be a sense that we're thinking, do you know what? All the things I've planned for the first part of this decade aren't coming into fruition. So let's have some kind of a reset again and say, God, I give myself to you afresh. Yes, I lift up my soul to you. And I say, Lord, show me your ways. What are your ways? What are your rules for me? What is it you want me to do? What are your plans for me in this coming year? And almost at the same time, there's a cutting off of the past. In verse 7 and verse 11, it refers to sort of, remember not the sins of my youth. And in verse 11, for the sake of your name, O Lord, forgive my iniquity, though it is great. So almost as he's coming into this new season, he's just cutting himself off from the past and saying, God, I trust you. I lift myself up to you. I want you to show me your ways completely. And I know you've completely forgiven me from everything in my past. It's funny in verses 16 and 17 here. He says, turn to me and be gracious to me, for I'm lonely and afflicted. The troubles of my heart have multiplied. Free me from my anguish. I had a chat with some members of our church recently. Some of them who live on their own were saying, do you know what? I'm going to find it so difficult over Christmas, Pastor Dave, because I live on my own. And this COVID thing means we can't hug people. And I said, I am so, so sorry. Whatever we can do in this limited time, let us know. But my heart goes out to people who feel like that. But for you, for myself, for any of us, no matter what we feel like, no matter what we're facing, I would say that we can again lift up our heart, lift up our soul to Jesus, trust him with everything for the remainder of this year and for 2021. Do not worry. I know it's horrible. I know we can't have a carol service. You can't do this at Christmas when you normally did, and things are different. But trust, lift your soul up to God and trust him, and he will not let the oil run out. He will give you everything you need. God bless you. There's going to be a carol service video which we'll send out to you. So the carol service won't take in person, but it will be our Christmas Connect main Christmas video with contributions from everybody, about 45 minutes long, and that will come out next week. God bless you. Stay strong and positive. Lift up your soul to God and trust Him. He will keep you. Thank you.